Hello, my name is Jack Blade, and welcome back to my channel. We're playing some Satisfactory today, and as you can see, we have progressed a lot further than you saw in the last episode. That's because I've been doing stuff, or we're doing stuff on stream. This was pretty much everything that was done in the first stream, and this was done the week after, something like that. Then, like, second stream, I did that. Here's the thing, though. Those episodes, what I recorded, what I put out, I am not happy with it. I can tell that you guys are not happy with it because there's barely any views, any response to it. However, the doggo meta video that I released has an insane amount of response to it. So I know I can make content that you guys like. I just haven't done it in this case. So, what I'm going to do is, on stream, I'm going to rip all of this down, and I am going to pretty much start over and do this right. So I will see if I have any good footage. I will try and make a little bit of a time lapse or something to that effect to like give you some kind of dynamic of this everything being torn down. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a hint of what we will be doing for the main part of the series over there. But yeah, today we will be literally ripping down everything, starting over, and today the episode is number 1, and we will be doing all of phase 1 in this episode. Roll the footage. Here we go. The beans are guarding everything, but essentially everything that we have is now stored in those containers. There's some stuff in here with like equipment and such, collectibles and that kind of stuff that I have gained over the first 10 or so hours that we've been playing. I also took off the Blade Runners. I will be explaining how to get them and everything in this episode, because essentially what I'm expecting is that if you go into this and you're completely new, you do the tutorial and we meet each other here and we will get going. So yeah, those are beans, and we will be using their help to supervise our factories constantly. They're everywhere and they won't leave my factories alone. Okay, what are we doing? We need to set up a power system, first of all, and we need to decide on where to be and where to live. And we're going to be here. We are in the grassy fields, and I will have some landmarks here because you don't necessarily have the map unlocked yet. I will fly up so you can see where I am. So this is the grassy fields. That's the big stone arch, and a lot of trees and stuff are missing, but you can see that there is a bunch of iron nodes. There's limestone. We have copper over there. There's copper over there. We have more iron there, more iron. There's a limestone node here behind that pillar. And we have even more limestone down there in that bowl. So we have a bunch of resources around us. Everything is normal or impure nodes. We will be focusing on the normal nodes to make it less power intensive, to have more, like, we don't need as many miners. But yeah, we're going to start with making kind of like a platform over here that will be kind of like the get-go, like the basis for, okay, this is where we're gonna build our lush stuff. So, and on top of that, at this point, once you've gone through the tutorial and everything, the second you find something, like this is gonna be like a homework thing for you to do. If you're playing along with this and you want like a step-by-step guide, you want to get as many of these as possible, the berries that are scattered around. And when you see one of these, one of the doggos, I've tamed all of these. You tame them by going like this, boom, and they will come over and eat. Don't move, don't do anything, just let them eat. They're gonna be scared of you. Did you just eat all my berries? They're a little bit hungry. And the reason for this is they bring you really cool stuff that is really important in a minute in this episode. And you can do this without that, and we will go through a bunch of stuff that you can do. But generally, that's it. If you want to set up like a little bit of like a handcraft or automatic thing to help you out with this, I 100% recommend it. I'm not going to show that because it's easy. You learn that in the tutorial. But generally, I have unlocked everything in tier 1 and 2 except for the jump pads. I don't need them. But everything else there is unlocked. You will also need to unlock overclocking, specifically so that we can underclock some machines. And we are also going to be using an alternate recipe, and I'll go through exactly how to get those and everything during this episode as well. But yeah, let's start. We're gonna make our platform and stuff over here. So let's go. Here we are. Have started. This is the core of what we're doing. This is our base floor. The reason why I have placed it like this with this extra floor in between is because I enjoy using what's called a logistics floor. So all the actual machines go up top here. Let me take this, and like all of these go up here, but all of the belts and resource intake and all of that kind of stuff, and like sorting and splitting them up and handling all of that kind of stuff happens down here. And these are called millennial birds because they just scream at life, and that makes perfect sense. And that's essentially it for the platform. A lot of these, like they take concrete and iron plates, so make sure that you have a lot of them because you're gonna need a lot of space to build. And that's the reason for this is because I'm gonna make a 100% efficient factory, and that means we need a lot of stuff. The big clincher is that iron products, all the iron products, take a lot of space. And on top of that, we need a big power setup as well. And you're thinking like, what? You only have biomass burners. Why are you making a power setup? Well, one of the reasons for that is I wanted to have it as a safety net and as a supplement for when I use my coal power. If something happens with it, I can always back up with the biomass burners. And that's an important, very important part for me. And I am going to show you how to build that. Okay, Bean has inspected and is now leaving, and we will be leaving for what we're doing with the power. And we don't want to forget our little friends here. They are completely adorable. Most of them have been named like these all. Pick Eater was named by Let's Build in the streams. Another one, I need a name and like and subscribe, but they are open to be named. And if you wanted to have one named after you, drop down in the description and become a channel member. And if you don't want to spend any money, you just want to do like regular support, that's fine. Just subscribe, like, hit the bell, leave a comment, join the Discord, the normal stuff. And yeah, we will hang out and have fun. Either way, let's move our buddies over to their other buddies over here. We have, like, they will follow you in a line of sight. And if you want to really learn all the doggo thingies, I have a video. I'm gonna leave a card here in this part of the video that leads to where, like, this is the full-on thing, like where you can find the doggos are marked on the map. Where I found them, there's like one up there, and then there's like a cave in here with like a whole, like there's at least 5 doggos in there. That's gonna help a lot. But yeah, I'm not gonna spend more time on that because I have made a whole video about it, so go check that out. But yeah, basically, doggos, they are the new meta for getting the early game tickets or coupons and stuff that I will also talk about in a second. I realized when I was building that I haven't really taken into account that I might need, what's it called? I need signs and stuff so that I don't get lost with all the containers and stuff that I will sort the material in, because I don't have smart splitters and stuff. So yeah, we're looking for quartz, something that I have unlocked in the MAM, and I'm going to show you exactly what that is about in a second. So yeah, you can see, as you can see, we have quartz. So we are gonna just, oh, yep, quartz. If you look on the map, you should have unlocked that by now. Like, if you've been playing along and you've been building a platform and you have some material, you should definitely have. what's it called? The oh, if you sneak up on these, they will not hurt you. They will not activate, even if you hit them. I saw that on a Total Eclipse video, so yeah. But basically, you can just punch them, they die, and pick these up. You want as much of this stuff as possible. Hello. Want this? You, doggo. And there we go. And now we need to go for quartz, and it looks like this. Very easy to find because it is very different from everything else, except for here in the blue forest. But essentially, if we're over here, there's one over here, there's one on top of that cliff, and there's another one up top of that cliff. So it's an impure, not normal, impure, and the one up there is pure. So yeah, you're going to have a lot. And we will be grabbing some of this stuff, and we'll go back and we'll be looking at the MAM. So let's head back. In the hub, you want to unlock the field research, which gives you the map, the object scanner, so you can look for stuff, some inventory slots. But the map and the inventory scanner is the important stuff. And what that does, and that, and then on top, like that one, you need all of this, right? All of this I expect you to have when I'm building this place. Especially, like, you need all of this to finish this thing. But awesome sync and stuff, I will go through all of this. But yeah, we have some stuff I'm gonna show you. I will just go through this first. So this is the MAM. You can find it in the special category. There's the MAM, you have the awesome sync and awesome shop there as well. I don't bother with the space elevator until I'm done with this factory, pretty much. But what we're gonna look at is what's in here. All of these are gonna be undiscovered, and if you find these different resources, as you can see, nutrients have all the berries and the nuts and the bacon agaric, the mushrooms. If you find mycelia, this little thing, you can unlock this tree. And basically, what we want to go for here to have displays and stuff is we want to first unlock quartz. We want to unlock quartz crystals. And once we have quartz crystals and silica being super important, we get the blade runners. You can handcraft some modular frames, get some silica. Sometimes you get that when you are cutting down the mycelia, like the mushroom things. That the thing that gives you mycelia gives you some limestone and some silica automatically. So that's easy to get. Don't even need to craft it. But this, really good to have because then you can make screens. And with that said, we will be looking at what, how to actually unlock the screens, because they're not in the hub. They're in here, in the awesome shop. So how does that work? Well, it works with these. They have a bunch of cool stuff, and I've saved all of that cool stuff here. So we're just gonna go and pick everything up from the doggos, and let's check out how that works. So, essentially, anything that you put into this, you need a little bit of power for it. It needs 30 megawatts. So if you haven't set up the power and everything yet, I'm gonna show you the power setup and everything in a second. But if you haven't set up the power and all of that stuff yet, just keep collecting all of these people. They just keep dropping stuff. I don't need the limestone, so I'm just gonna do this so I have some space. But basically, I can just say, hey, oh, you have a purple power slug, that's 5 power shards. Oh, you have wire. And you have some silica. I don't need silica, I'm gonna throw that. You have quick wire, that's good. Ooh, another power slug. Let's see, what do you have? You have screws, that can be good. And let's see, you have some... Oh, that's cool, that's quartz. You have some heat sinks, they are good, they give you a lot of points. And you have one of these hog remains. So I save everything that I want to sink in here. And I need this now for screens and stuff. But basically, everything else with like sinks and stuff, I can put in here. Use these to power the sink, get some coupons. Oh, even more. They get some stuff very quickly. So yeah, but what should we do now? We should unlock the signs. They are in your organization, and I will show you, like, when you get the tickets, you can go in here. And if you look in all of these, you have a bunch of like cool stuff here, like collectibles, statues you can put down. That one's a real achievement. And then you have some in management. You have floor holes, ceiling mounts for conveyors, wall mounts. You can wall mount your power outlets. I've taken these two, the display sign and label signs here. I don't really care about that, and I don't get the billboards yet. Like, I don't care about this yet. It's where it's unavailable, or like it takes power and we don't need it yet. What I think is super important to get as fast as you can is concrete foundations. These. I think it's super important to get asphalt foundations. Don't bother with this. This you can get if you want to, but it's not a prerequisite for anything. I get half foundations. Get the inverted ramp, stair sets, double ramp set. Still secondary. In here, everything's secondary. Here, we have the important stuff. Number 1, get factory ladders. 2, get catwalks. 3, get road barriers. They are super important and they allow for so much customization. I've also got a modern railing here. And then if you don't want to handcraft stuff and you have extra tickets laying around, you can go in and buy stacks of them here. So if I want a stack of wire, I can just go here. You see, it's here and I buy, and now I have an extra stack. And Ada will explain.
Purchase confirmed. Promotion delayed by X times part value plus fix-it stock value.
Goddamn. So yeah, like that's it. And you get those by sinking parts into this. That's how you get the coupons. So that's all you gotta do to get what you need. But first, before we can sync properly and everything, let's go and look at our power setup. Yeah, so are you guys ready for the big reveal here? I'm gonna turn around and we're gonna look at... Ta-da! What have we done? Well, let's look at this. I've taken some stuff here to show you, or I was supposed to. I haven't set the signs here properly either. I will fix this stuff before we fire it up. But essentially, I have made it so that you can just take a piece of wood or like the wood stuff and put in here, and that will work. And then you can just take the hog remains and put in here, and that will make solid biofuel. We're always going for solid biofuel. Solid biofuel is the king for the biomass burner, the first thing in the game. Don't care about leaves, don't care about wood, biomass. Turn everything you can into solid biofuel. And with the doggo meta for the coupons, you don't need this necessarily, like these remains, to make the DNA capsules. Not yet, at least. I would say wait with that, and then the mycelia is over here. And I will show you exactly how this is set up. And I put leaves over here. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. But leaves go in here. So parts, put leaves in here in these 4. You can control copy, control paste, like control C, control V on signs or on machine setups and stuff like that. But essentially, if you look over here, there's a big setup, and we're gonna fly up and take a look at it, but in a second. But essentially, this is what this factory will build, like produce. We will have a surplus of this, so that we can run our chainsaw and later like tractor and stuff like that using solid biofuel. Iron plates, iron rods, screws, reinforced iron plates, rotors, modular frames, smart plates, wire, cable, copper sheets, and concrete. And the ratios are as follows. Whatever we wanted to. I think it's like 60 per minute. This one is 20 per minute, 15 per minute, 25 per minute, 5 per minute, 4 per minute, 4 per minute, 4 per minute, I think, for this one as well. I'm not lagging, it's just that those three, all of them are 4 per minute. And then we have wire, which is going to be 30 per minute, and cable will be, I think, 45 per minute. And then we have copper sheets, 30 per minute, and concrete will be 120 per minute, because this is the most heavily used resource in my saves, because I build a lot of visual stuff with walls and foundations and stuff like that. So they use a lot of concrete. So that's just because of how I play. And you will notice that, and if you want to, go right ahead and join in with that. Either way, let's showcase the rest. So up here, these are the inputs. When I come back from a excursion, I've been fighting a bunch of monsters. I've picked up all of their remains. I have leaves, so I will just, as evenly as I can, disperse those leaves here. Then I can take all my wood, because we don't have any belts that are fast enough. We only need one here. All the wood goes in here. Picture of hog remains is on top here. I have literally just gone for background colors black and then selected here. I selected the hog remains wherever they are there. And I've done that and basically just copied that along and just change the images. But yeah, then I can just take, I don't have any hog remains on me, so I'm just gonna skip this. I do have some spitter remains. They go in here, as you can see. Spitter remains. And then you have here, those are for hatchers, so hatcher remains go in. Stinger, we don't have any stinger remains, so we have mycelia instead. We just skip to that. And mycelia, I have completely separated from the power system. It's producing, but then it sends it back down and gives it to our output storage for all of our solid biofuel that we need on us to use for machines and tractors and stuff like that. Yeah, so essentially that. And what happens over here then? So, okay, the leaves are basically dispersed. So you can see they go out. They have a little bit of spaghetti over here going on. It's spaghetti with oregano. And then in here, we have the first set of biomass leaves recipes. And in here, oh, that's not even set. Biomass leaves needs 120 leaves, makes 60 biomass per minute. And then I put those together. They go into a Mark II belt over here after a merger. And I have leaves going in here as well. Same thing. There was no recipe here. Okay. I have just not set recipes in these machines. But it helps if I do. So here we go. A bunch of leaves turning into biomass. And then they are merged. So 120 biomass here and 120 biomass here goes into these, where 120 biomass makes 60 solid biofuel per minute, and then you have another 60 solid biofuel per minute over here. Meaning that's 120 solid biofuel per minute that is being made. That's not even close to all of the biofuel we're making, but here we go. It gets stacked up here if we back up. This is to make sure that we have a extra surplus storage of solid biofuel. And then this goes into this is a balancing system. It's not an even balancing system. This is just to make sure that I have, at the very least, on each line, I have 3 lines, as you can see here, of biomass burners. The biomass burners that now has inputs on the back of them in vanilla. This is amazing. This is awesome. And then they basically go in here and they disperse along this line, and that's 15 of them, because that's 60. Or 15 biomass burners can use, if you're fully utilizing the power output, they use 60 solid biofuel per minute. And as you can see, if I look in here, the entire setup for with machines and everything takes 64 megawatt to run. This entire setup produces 1350 megawatts. Why have I done this? I am not going to be using nearly all of this. I'm basically going to be using maybe a third of the power. And the reason for this, why I've set this up, is because it slows down the power usage. If I only had this line here, and that was connected in, and like whoop-de-doo, it would last for about 50 minutes. If I put in a full stack here and kept going like all the way down, 50 minutes. That's how long it would take, and then we would be completely out of solid biofuel. And so it runs very, very quickly. So a way to slow that down is by scaling up. So in this way, I've made it so that it uses, instead of using a stack every 50 minutes, it uses a stack every 150 minutes, meaning that the general usage rate slows down. Like, not actually, but it means that I have to keep less track, which is the point. The reason why I have painted the floor is because one of the rules that I have set for myself, aside from when I'm flying around to show you stuff, I walk. And one of the big things that I really want to do is make sure that I spend time planning, like the same way that I plan the rest of the factory, I want to plan the walkability of each factory. If we move over to the other side here, as you can see, wood goes in over here. It is turned into 60 wood per minute, turns into 300 biomass per minute. And then in here, because we can only, like, we can't take 300 biomass. We have a belt that can only take 120, and I'll talk about belt speeds in a second. And that means that we're going to get the 120 here and the 120 here and make 60 and 60. So that's, with these two, that's 60, 120, and that's 180, 240. Oh, Lumen makes this look like evil Empire base now. That's really cool. Really cool effect. Yeah, I'm playing this entire series with Lumen on, by the way. So I will be planning to set up lighting and stuff like that to make the place look hella fly. Not just the environment, the base. Not just this. I mean, aside from Fart Cloud. Not just this. That's better. Not just this view. This should also be a view. I have made it so that wood gets processed. It gets sent into this. It goes over, and then that wood supplements. It goes all the way over here, and that is the main line for the third. But then the rest supplements. So all of the beastie parts, when you find them, and you put them in here, and they get processed, this is the fun part. You process them into alien protein. You research how to make that in the MAM, in the alien megafauna category. And then you have spitters, you have hatchers, and you have stingers. We don't have a smart splitters and programmable splitters yet, so we can't just put everything in one box and then see how it sorts itself. We need to have one box per. So that's essentially what we have done here. But yeah, with stingers and then with the mycelia here, you can see it makes 150, and if you remember, it's 120 to make 60, so it just goes into one constructor here. So that's 60 per minute that goes down into storage. But these are real beasts. They make 1,500 per minute out of 15 alien protein. That is going to back up so fast and so much. Once you like go out and kill everything in sight once, and you will have enough to make all the solid biofuel you will need for a long time. So that's what I've set up here. It's essentially like make protein, make biomass out of protein, and then make solid biofuel out of biomass. And I've also set up, so you can see here, power goes in very simple like this. This is because I don't have all of the cool stuff that I want to use to make the power lines look good, so I basically just try to make them look at least a little bit symmetrical. And all of the power then collects up over here, and we will be using that to like run that. We'll be using it to run the rest of our factory. And yeah, let's jump over. I think I've gone through this properly, so let's just see if we can kick things off. Okay, first, we're back in day. It's a lot nicer for people to watch the video if it's light. I have picked up a bunch of this stuff, and the reason for that is we kind of want to, like, we've sent in all the leaves. I went on a big, I'm not kidding you, I spent 3 hours just gathering leaves, like leaves. There is so much leaves, thousands upon thousands of leaves. I think there's like 40,000 leaves split between these 4 containers, I went out and I picked up all the wood I could find, and I have killed so many animals. The spiders kind of deserve it. The stingers are disgusting. But yeah, I've basically made sure that we got the stuff. Like, we have mycelia as well, and you can see here, I'm going to fill that up even more. I have some more mycelia back in the containers down by the hub. But yeah, essentially, we are going to power this up. So let's get going. Let's not wait. I need to take care of all of the containers down there as well. So what I'm going to do now to kick things off is I'm going to just literally place in a stack in every container. And then I will kind of go and disperse everything evenly once it's going. There we go. Just bear with me. Watch it go. And the reason why I have placed them here along my walking path is so that I can easily just, like, I can come in here, I can go up, and I can just look down this corridor. I was expecting that. I'll give it a second. But basically, this corridor, I should basically be able to stand over here and look down here. And if there's nothing on these belts, that's a red flag. That's warning, that's bad. But yeah, let's look at the fuse. So if we go to a power pole and press to configure it, or over to one of the biomass burners, what we will see is that we can click on it and get this, where we see, hey, the max consumption is 88 megawatts. I had forgotten to connect a couple of machines before. So the total power to use this power system that makes so much solid biofuel that you don't have to think about this. Like, for maybe, based on how much I collected, I spent 3 hours collecting stuff. And if you do that, you're probably going to have, I would guess, like 20, 30 hours worth of power in just stuff being processed. But yeah, basically what we're doing now, we're just waiting for the solid biofuel to disperse a little bit, to spread, as you can see, and hit more machines. Why is that green over there? That shouldn't be green. Oh, there's a break in the... Okay, this is why you do this stuff, so that you can troubleshoot. So there we go. Now that is also fuse blown. Perfect. But yeah, basically now that it's spread a little bit, we can just turn it on again. Ta-da! And now all of these stickies will go green instead of red. That is because they have fuel and they are running. Why are you red? You don't have power. Okay, so I hadn't connected you up. So one of the principles, the core principles of doing troubleshooting with everything except these, pretty much, is if stick is red, something's wrong. But you can only see that if you have power. If I disconnect this, they're always going to be red. If I want to troubleshoot and see if sticks are red, which means that there is no power or no recipe. Power has to be on. If I see yellow sticks, it's because efficiency is down. And that will fix itself over time when you start up the factory. And I normally run a factory, let it run for like 45 minutes once you have gotten rid of all the red sticks, and see what happens. Then go back and look at what's gone wrong and then troubleshoot. But yeah, essentially now we will just go here and say, hey, let's place in some more of this stuff into the primary containers, which are the easily reachable ones. And that is essentially how we get all of the power. Because these are going to back up. We can already see they're starting to get more. But yeah, if we want to count out how much we get, it's 4, that's 240, plus 120, that's 360, plus another 120, that's 480 solid biofuel per minute that we are producing with this factory. and the lines use at max capacity 180. We have so much biofuel, and the point of it that is to back this up and make sure that these are always running full. Because this is a manifold, if we don't, machines back here are going to start turning off because it's constantly splitting down. So in this, like, there's a merger here, of course, but in the first splitter, half is going to go there, which means like on a Mark II belt, that's 120, so 60 goes in here, and then 60 goes ahead. And then 30 goes in here, and 30 goes ahead. And then 15 goes in here, and 15 goes ahead. You see what I mean? So it keeps splitting. With that said, belt speeds and the actual speed of the belt is important. Let's build a guy in my Discord. He gave me a tip because he said that people have been wondering a lot about what's the difference between belt speed and belt speed. So you have different belts. So we have this belt. That's a Mark I belt. If I just place that down. This, if I put a dude stand here and count 1, 2, 3, 4 for a minute, he's gonna count to 60 if this belt is full. And if we would rather look at the belt speed, that has more to do with the length of the belt. If I run a belt from here, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds, everything's moved along. If I run the belt from here to over there, it's going to take a minute and a half. And that is the actual absolute belt speed, but the belt capacity per minute, because that's how we count everything in Satisfactory, is per minute. That uses the belt speed that you can see if you go to logistics and you hover over this. You can see on your right side you have a description: transports up to 60 resources per minute. That is the capacity. It will never move more than that per minute past a certain point. And you need to upgrade and unlock stuff in the MAM to get access to more, and you can go up to Mark VI belts in 1.0, where you have the Logistics Mark II being the first Mark II belt that goes to 120, but we're not so lucky that it doubles every time. The next time it does more than double, it goes up to 270 for the Mark III belts. Mark IV belts does not double, it goes to 480, and then we have the next level belt, that's the Mark V, goes to 780, so that's not a doubling that either. And the final one is about a 40% upgrade. Mark VI belts goes to 1,200 items per minute. That is fast. That is really damn fast. That is literally 20 times faster than the Mark I belt. So yeah, that's basically what you need to think about, because sometimes certain machines need longer belts, coming out of them, to give time for the machine to empty. Otherwise it will back up. Even if you have a fast enough belt in terms of capacity, even if you can move 60 per minute, and this is making 45, if those 45 don't have time to leave the machine and leave and go, because for whatever reason, to make enough of a belt that out of a machine that you don't get back up, because if machines backs up sending things in, and if machines backs up sending things out, that's how you get bottlenecks and you lose efficiency. Same thing with machines not being able to run because they don't have enough material. That also messes with efficiency. So while this machine is 100% efficient, you can see it's 100% efficient. You can see that over here. Very, very important to keep a track of. One cycle takes 4 seconds. It makes 4 solid biofuel, 60 total per minute, and it's 100% efficient. That means that there is nothing blocking it. It's getting exactly what it needs to make all the solid biofuel it can, and it's sending all the solid biofuel it can. That's what the difference in belt speeds mean. So keep that in mind. Well, now that we have power up and running, and we still have red sticks, and I'm going to wait until everything saturates and we have backup of power and all that kind of stuff, and then we're going to start looking at some real cool stuff with with hard drives and stuff like that, because that's super important for the factory building. Just remember, every time you see your doggos, get reminded, go and pick up. They have computers, they have turbo motors, and they have carpus. They have more turbo motors. Turbo motors gives you 240,000 points, awesome points um, per engine. It's like a tier 8 or tier 9 item, so it's really spicy, really good. I've basically just been gathering up everything in here so that we can do one big batch once we have the stuff. So I can show you exactly what we do in the sink or in the shop with this. So let's go and check that out. Keep in mind, this is going to be a long episode. We are probably something like 45 to 50 minutes into an episode here, and we have a way to go. We haven't even started building the factory yet. So, pause this video, get up, get something to drink, take care of yourself, go hug your family. You're not going to see them for a while. Come, sit back down, and fire Satisfactory back up again after you have done a good stretch, and we will get to hard drives and exploring the world and why that's important. Alright, so we are over here. I have made my little platform up to this. We're over by the waterfall. I'm going to show you the map where I have marked a bunch of hard drives that I found. These are easy, cheap to open and everything. So what are they? They are crash sites. Essentially, this looks like something messed up a hub delivery thingy, and if we open the drop pod, as you can see, if we just pull, I need to have this. I'm sacrificing this. I'm opening. That disappears, and I get this. Those are super important. Let's see what Ada has to say.
Hard drive recovered. Returning to the MAM for data recovery.
That's what I'm going to do. I have found more hard drives, so once you find them the first time, Ada has more sassy things to say, because she is the sass master in 1.0. And on top of that, what you need to get is a lot of slugs, power slugs specifically. The doggos are likely to get you a bunch of them. I have so many because of the doggos. I'm just going to fly over here and show you, but you can find them in the world. You can see here is a blue one. You need a few of these to start with the overclocking research, which is a power slug research in the MAM. So yellow, blue, purple power slugs. If you find them, then pick them up and unlock all the stuff. Overclocking is really easy to unlock everything for, or most of it at least, especially with the doggo giving you everything you need to unlock everything in the MAM as well. Like, it gives you so much stuff. But yeah, essentially, if we go to the map, you will see, let's see, everywhere there is a chest here. Crash site, all of this is literally just where I have been. There's an alpha over here, like a really big spitter that does a ton of damage, so this one might be hard to get. But essentially, you have 1, 2, 3. Let's see. There should be more. Where have I just forgotten to name something? I have. There we go. There's a one over here. So let me just fix this marker. I go crash site. I give it this icon, and I get apply. There we go. So, crash sites here. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. And then you have an easy one out here. That's an easy one. And the one I am by here is also a quite easy one. The one, like, remember, look what I've done here with the foundations. This is how you start climbing. This is how you reach places, so you can get to stuff. But yeah, that hard drive up here, like, if you start looking down on the ground and everything, you're most likely not gonna find stuff because it's up here. Remember, these are crash pods. They crash from somewhere. So you can just open, you get all of their hard drives, and we need at least 5 because luck is part of unlocking alternative recipes, which is super important. Oh, so yeah, I'm gonna go back over here so I don't cheat, and I'm gonna get back to base, and I will see you guys when we have collected, or I have collected my 5, but collect your 5, get more doggo treats, get more doggos if you can, between 5 and 10. We'll see you guys over at base. We are back at base, and I have saturated, so if we go up and look at our power system, you can now see that this has pretty much, the leaves are still processing, but these have pretty much stopped. They have, okay. I might need to get more wood. Yeah, I need to get more wood. I'm out of wood, and I need more. Okay, so basically, let's look at our MAM down here and look at our alternative recipes. So what you do is you have a hard drive. I have 6 of them, right? I showed you which ones I've gotten on the map, and I'm not going to show all the power slugs. They're everywhere. I'm not going to play that game for you. But yeah, basically, we click scan hard drive and we wait 10 minutes. And during that time, I'm going to take the time and start moving stuff over. And when those 10 minutes have gone, I will show you how the recipes work. All right, I decided to wait with that a little bit and go through and get some tickets. So I have powered this up. I have moved over from a power line, and we're going to look. You can see I have already unlocked coupons, of course. Like, I played on the stream and like I did a bunch of stuff. Basically, I'm trying to get you to the point where you've caught up with me here. So basically, I have 0 coupons in there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a conveyor belt Mark II. I want this to be as fast as possible. And I'm basically separating out all the power slugs that I'm getting. But if we look in here, turbo motors, heavy modular frames, like all of this stuff, I'm just sending it. And it's going in here. And as you can see, we're getting a lot. Like, this is insane amounts of tickets. Remember, I've already unlocked like 100. If this is your first, like, get-go with this, you're probably gonna get like 150, 200 coupons. Very easily. So yeah, essentially all our disco frames here, or like vinyl boards and stuff, they're actually not that. They are crystal oscillators. But yeah, and essentially that's all due to the doggo meta. And they give me bombs, or as I call them, spicy sticks. Even spicier sticks. That's a nuclear obelisk. And those are bombs that you can use. I don't have the detonator unlocked, or I would show you. But essentially, I can just take this. I'm gonna just go in here. It's gonna be sent together with the rest. Yay. Oh yeah, and I gotta remember to tell you, there is a customizer system. Yeah. This is new for 1.0. Go here once you've unlocked the hub. Character customization. I am building style of Roman Empire. We decided on this color on the stream. So yeah, that's essentially what we will be using. But we have all of our doggos, except the one that is tamed but out in the wilderness over there in the blue forest. It's still over here, somewhere over here by the quartz that I marked. But yeah, like essentially, now that we have all these, I'm just gonna grab the coupons that we have for now, so I can show you. And then we head on over to the awesome shop. We can go in here, and let's say that we want to unlock some stuff. So what do we want? I'm gonna go for the important stuff first in architecture. So I have concrete pillar. Pillars are really good to have. I have those. I can't have that until I have steel. I need basic steel production. I might make metal barriers. These look really cool. These are new for 1.0. So I just click on the shopping cart. This is like e-commerce in a nutshell. So I'm just gonna grab some of this stuff so I have more customization. I'm gonna go to foundations. I've unlocked these already. Those are new for 1.0, by the way, the stairs. They have to be done specifically before. So you can see here now that I've used 27. And if I go to the customizer, I might want I want concrete walls, stuff like that. And I can maybe want to Get some of the finishes, as you can see, up to 43. And then if I want a couple of parts, let's say I need a lot of this. There we go. 46. I need a lot of this for building belts and stuff. So let's go for that. And I think that's it. Now I'm done. I press buy all. There we go. ADAS be sassy.
All fixed vetted materials are tested for toxins, hallucinogens, and other biologically adverse effects. Pioneers are advised not to immerse themselves in these materials, and not to lick, eat, breathe in, or otherwise consume them.
Bean has obviously done that. There's like, you don't have to supervise the this. You don't have to supervise the prop pod, which, as you can see, is actually one of those pods that you find, the crash sites. So yeah, like essentially, with that, we're getting coupons. We're doing the MAM research. So let's wait. We have a little bit left. I'll be back when we have unlocked the alternative recipes. We can look at it. It has pinged. I got a notification in the top left, but I wasn't recording. Now I am. Let's click here. You can see hard drive scan has been completed. The scanned hard drive has been added to your hard drive library. So before, you had to pick. You got 3 options and you had to pick. Now you don't. As you can see.
Hard drive analysis completed. Alternative recipe selection available in the MAM.
So, what we have one need to have, like everything else we can fix later down the line, but we need to have cast screws for the factory that I've planned. Which means that, like, if you look at a normal recipe, screws need iron rods to be made. We can skip that step and make them directly from iron ingots if we get the alternate recipe, cast screws. So, neither of these are anything we want right now. So I'm just gonna click rescan. You can use it once, and I get 2 new options. Boom. Neither of these are what I wanted either. However, I will still not pick one of these, because now these can't be rolled by the other hard drives. Right? So now I can just go in here and start scanning a new one. And I wait 10 minutes. Well, I'll be doing that. I've been procrastinating that. But basically, I'll be moving that over. And once we have scanned all of our hard drives, we will look at the library and see we should be getting the cast screws in one of those. So I think 6 hard drives is like the maximum for before you send the space elevator stuff and like that in the beginning. So 6 hard drives and you would max out everything you can get. So let's skip on over. I have moved everything over. I have also scanned all the hard drives. So let's take a look at that. Hard drive library. I have everything here. And this is a different save. As people might know, I pre-plan all of the scenes before I record them. So what I do in a previous save, what you see, might not be consistent with what you see now, because I'm jumping to a save further into the future for me. So yeah, essentially what we needed to find was the cast screw. And this is the fun part. How do I know that 6 hard drives is the maximum that we can scan or should scan in the in phase 1, where we are at right now? It's because unable to rescan it, no rewards currently available. As in, we can't unlock anything more. This is all of it. And this one is what we need. If we click to expand, you can see we use 12.5 iron ingots to make cast screws, 50 screws per minute. And that might be, as you like think about it, 15 iron ingots makes 15 iron rods, which makes so that's a 1-to-1 ratio. So these might as well say iron rods makes 40 screws. In this case, we have 12.5 making 50. So this is a lot more efficient in terms of resource usage. So not just that, it also skips the iron rod step. So that saves a lot of power. We don't have to use as many machines and like all that kind of stuff. So let's go for this. Cast screws unlocked. So if we go to screw, here and we look at the recipe, you open this by pressing N, by the way, N as in Nicholas, N as in numbnuts, and we click screw, and you can see we have our alternative recipe here. We can also see everything that it is used in, and we will be making these reinforced iron plates, and we will be making the rotors with them. So basically, if we look at here, the screw, cast screw, we'll be making this instead of this. So you can see, okay, it's 10 makes 40. 12.5. Okay, so it's the same ratio, but you still get more per circle. Okay. My bad, my bad. I misremembered. I thought it was 15 makes 40. It's 10 makes 40. That's on me. But now we have the cast screws either way. We have unlocked a bunch of stuff in the awesome shop that we needed. I'm still getting a bunch of coupons because I don't want to go and handcraft a bunch of these reinforced iron plates. I have a few from before, but they are not going to be enough. Not by a mile. So if you can, set up a quick, dirty, literally look on the ground, just like put some iron in, just very, very quickly have something like as an assembler or two that makes some screws for you while you're building, because this is going to be a big build. It's going to need a lot of belts and we need a lot of resources pulled in here. So let's get started with our factory, and I will be back when I have pulled in the resources. We're back and the doggos are happy to see you. Also, I'm a dum-dum. Picky eater, another one. 59 cave. Hate naming things was named in the stream by Jacopski. Oh my god, I've pulled so much belt. So here's my flat spaghetti. If we look at it, I have taken iron from these. I've focused on the normal nodes. I ignored as much of the impure nodes as I possibly could. So we have iron coming in. We have limestone coming in from here and from over here. And if we look, we have the copper node coming in from over here. And if we go over, and that's an impure node, by the way, and that's an impure limestone node over there. So I'm just like combining that with that to get a full 120 belt. So I've done that. I've taken all of the 60s because these give 60 per minute. Impure gives 30, normal gives 60, pure gives 120. And I am using the 60s. Those are the sounds of spiders. So yeah, as you can see, iron and stuff, I have pulled in everything. I'm going to show you a little bit about what that is in a second. But essentially, I have just made this a very like rudimentary bus that collects and merges everything up to as large belts as possible, so I can use less belts to get further, which meant make a ton of reinforced iron plates, because these are all, that's Mark 1, but the second they are merged up, that's a Mark 2 belt and it stays a Mark 2. So yeah, I've basically done that to save on the beltage. I say while also doing this thing, because I wasn't sure how I was going to use the copper as one copper node there, one copper node there. Meanwhile, most of the iron is on this side, and the limestone same is like over there and over here. So I was like, let's just gather everything together and trying to have like a highway of resources. But yeah, essentially, the reason why I have made 2 floors is for this, right? So if you look on top here now, I don't have to deal with messy belts and stuff like that. This is what it looks like. But essentially, it's so that I have my all my logistics down here, and I have the actual factory up here. So it is a little bit cleaner. And I will show you. I've purposefully designed this factory so that I will not do that, because I will need a second floor on this, and I will on purpose make sure that I don't put in a logistics floor there, and you will see what chaos that immediately turns into. So let's just hop on over. Like, as you can see, I've marked here as well. Sorry, I should remember to show you this. I've hidden myself, but these are all the nodes that we're using. So it's 120 copper. There are 5, let's see, 6 iron nodes that pull in 60. And then I have, well, I don't know why I've marked that 60, because that's not 60, that's 30. 30 limestone. Apply. So we have two 30 nodes. No, wait, that's 60. 60. Apply. I haven't marked the other one. Okay, that's my bad. My bad, I haven't put that on the map. But we have a marker over here. Or we don't have a marker for the one over here, but it is here. This is, I can jump like this because of these. Like, comparatively. This is how slow. This is my jump without them, and this is my jump with them. Right, so they are really, really good to keep on you. I'm going to try and do this all in one go. So you guys can just follow along without any long breaks or anything like that. But essentially, I've taken all the resources around here that I've marked except for these, the quartz. I'm not using that. But all the limestone that is marked here, these are the locations. You have the copper, iron, and more limestone. And then, of course, you have the limestone that is like here by the hub. Now I have the 30 limestone marked. So this is all the resources that I am using. And that is to make the starter factory. It looks like a lot, I know. But essentially, what is it they say? Luck favors the prepared, is what I would say. I think that's a proverb of some kind. Either way, I'm not rushing. I want to do this right. I want to make sure that there is all the progress I can possibly snack into this episode. Now I will get going and build the iron stuff. Essentially, all of the stuff that is made out of iron. There's not any mix currently. Like everything that's made out of iron, it doesn't use any iron and copper, or iron and limestone. I've split that up, so it's iron products only using iron. It's limestone only using limestone, or concrete uses only limestone. Copper products uses only copper. There is no overlap yet, and that is to keep it simple for you guys. Let's go. All right, we are here 3 hours and 20 minutes later, and this is how things have changed. Quite radical change compared to before, right? But don't worry, we will look at it, and it will be very easy to understand. What is it Mambo Jumbo says? It's a lot more, like, it's actually very simple. It's pretty simple. It's very simple. Or Ryan George says, barely any, like, very easy, barely any inconvenience. So yeah, essentially, if I can fly, thank you. If we look on the iron coming in, those are two 120 lines coming in, and I am putting that into 4 smelters, and then I have another 4 smelters, and then you have the 2 over there that goes into a 120 line and turns into another 4 smelters. As you can see, that makes 360 iron ingots. We don't need 360 iron ingots, technically. I have just made it like this. There's no harm in it. We have the power. You can very easily see, if we look here, max consumption is 457. We're never really going to use that much. The actual consumption is 236. And the biomass burners are adapting to that, so they don't go over. Like, they have the capacity to do that, they only use that, which slows down the fuel drain as well, so, like, even better. Okay, let's look at our setup. So they bring up iron here, it gets smelted, and it gets brought down. So if we look down here, it goes over, and there's I've just been messing around here, but essentially a splitter that sends iron off because we need to use it for screws down there. Here they make iron rods, as you can see over here, and like you can very easily just see on top here where we have our constructors. We have our screws over here. We have this was the way I fit them. We have the iron plates, the iron rods, screws, and then I kind of ran out of room. So we went for a second floor. Either way, And I specifically made that floor without the logistics floor to show you the difference in the chaoticness. That's a verb. That's an adjective now, or a noun. I don't even know what classification of word is. Either way, I am basically also taking a single machine from iron plates and sending that over to our storage, and taking a single machine of iron rods. I'm taking half a machine of screws. I don't need 50 per minute. Why would I need 50 per minute? And I'm sending that over to storage. And essentially making sure that for each specific part that I'm making, I store some of it for myself, not just for going down the line. So yeah, essentially what I then figured was, okay, I need a second floor to build on. So I made a logistics elevator. The same way that I have a logistics floor, if I were to make a wall here, for example, if I take walls like this and I put them here, like so, I don't have to see it if I don't want to. That might be a nice feature. I tend to like it as a visual feature, so I leave it open. But I can essentially put walls in the way, and you don't have to see it, but you have the ability to move your resources up and down to new floors, adding the ability to play a lot with verticality. And the way that I've done here, I've also prepped sending up the concrete, because I will need the second floor for the concrete as well. But essentially, we're sending up screws, we're sending up iron plates, we're sending up iron rods, and let's see, if I remember correctly, we are sending up 64 iron rods, we're sending up 90 iron plates, and we're sending up 380 screws to the top to be used for all the iron products that are made in the assembler, the more advanced thing that you unlock. And there we will be making all the advanced products. And here you see a factory without the logistics floor. It doesn't look as simple, right? Even though there's less happening, there's less machines, there's less belts, there's less everything. Less products in general moving around. But you don't feel that. This is not right. That's a Mark 1 lift. That should be a Mark 2 lift. Here we go. Mark 2 lift. That's fixed. So essentially, same thing here. I need to go through and do like problem. And one of the things I always personally forget is upgrading or using the lift of the like variety that I need. But yeah, basically, if we follow this chaotic spaghetti, because that's literally like, look at it, it's so spaghetti. So over here, we're sending the metal plates or iron plates together with screws, and they need a lot. So 60 per minute of the screws and 30 per minute of the iron plate to make 5 reinforced plates per minute. And we are now making this into 15 reinforced plates per minute. One of these machines is sent back to our storage, just like everything else. I have an elevator here as well. All it's doing is sending products from here down and into storage. That's the point of it. And yeah, essentially, I then have the iron rods. They go up and about here. I don't know why I was so convoluted with it. I think I just had problems like getting a good, what's it called? Incline here. Either way, I went over and then I split here because over here I only need 20 here and 20 here, leaving another 24. So when these get saturated, you can see that there's a full stack in here now, right? That's a full stack. When that happens, it will send more rods down here to be used in the machine over here. These makes the rotors, by the way. So you have 8 rotors being made. The total production is 8. And I will have like sheets and stuff of all my factories, all my dedicated factories will be in the Discord available in a link there once I have finished setting everything up. Should be somewhere next week. So if you see this in a month from after release, it's definitely there. Either way, here we go. Iron rods and reinforced iron plates go in and make modular frames, right? And over here, we have smart plating being made. And as you can see, it's having a little bit of a hard time, but essentially we're sending in enough of these to make everything we need. And as a bonus tip, how am I getting these super low, super like tight conveyor lifts? One method that I like, the way you do it is by snapping, essentially. So if I have this, I have a conveyor splitter that I am sending into a merger like this. I take the splitter output and I twist it so that it snaps to this opening and it will automatically fix itself. And this goes to anything it snaps to. So it snaps to belt, it snaps to the conveyor poles, it snaps to like anything the conveyor lifts can snap to will be able to decide its length. There are even tricks on how to make infinite height conveyor lifts, which we will be showing when that's relevant. But either way, we are making everything in terms of the iron. So with everything happening on the first floor, down here on our clean floor, if we look over here, or if we look from here rather, from this point of view where we'll be walking, it looks a lot cleaner. You don't have a bunch of messy belts and stuff like that you have to deal with. Visually, this looks fine. However, if we go down and take a look at the logistics, it looks a little bit different. Yeah. Like, can I fly? Thank you. Ugh. So, I need a new keyboard. So, when we look at this, it's a little bit wonky. There's a lot going on. It's chaotic as all hell. But it works. And what I'm basically doing with, like, when you can see splitters and mergers happening before the lines even start, that is me supplementing lines. So this line, for example, needs 165 iron ingots. So what I've done is put in a merger, and I'm sending in the second line over here, and it will go over and it will send up or send in to supplement this line so that it gets all the iron it needs. And when the machines back up, because they will, because now we have 240 being fed into this line instead of 165, it will back up and automatically, with no smart splitters, no nothing needed, it will just start sending the surplus here, where I'm merging it back into the second line to make iron rods. I'm also making sure that it has all it needs by taking the third line and splitting it into a merger here with the second line, and then sending surplus along. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And I've basically done a similar thing all over the place. Like, I'm not gonna go and show it over and over and over again. That's just literally how it works. And then I've just used easy, normal manifolds. No load balancers, no nothing. Very easy. And yeah, I'm just sending everything over, and I'm using the conveyor lifts and everything to send everything. And I'm using straight mode to make very nice. You can see you press R when I have a belt. I drop. When I have nothing picked, I aim at the construction I want to do. Middle mouse click, and I get this. And if I click here, I get this. And like, this is the normal build mode. If I scroll, I can rotate it. I can move it around and stuff like that. But if I want to go from here to here, nothing happens, right? If I press R, I get straight mode, where it's trying to make as straight of a line as possible without any weird diagonals or anything like that, which makes it incredibly easy to make very nice clean lines. Yes. Oh, not chainsaw. So essentially, now you have unlocked stuff. You probably played around with the chainsaw. That is a fun thing. I should have probably talked about this earlier in the episode, but the chainsaw is essentially has a single mode where you take down one thing, or an area mode where you just take everything within an area. So if I use it over here, for example, boom, I pick up all the leaves, not just one. I take this tree, I take the tree and its neighbors. That's a very easy way to clear land for building and stuff like that. That's essentially what happened to the forest here. So yeah, essentially everything's sent over. I had to open up here a little bit to make sure that I had space. This is where the copper is gonna go. And over here, if you look, I put in that fourth, made a little bit of wonky belt here. I kind of like the curve though. And it's going to be up here. It's the concrete going to be made. So yeah, we're going to move over to that, and we're going to do the copper and the concrete. That's so simple. It's like literally a fifth of what we did with the iron. The iron is literally 90% of the first phase. So, and it will help you a lot. Like, I'm not saying build this much. I'm not saying go 100% effective. You don't have to. I am saying, with my experience in the game, don't rush. Take your time, build this out. It will help you in phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and onward to have this helping you out. Not just the power, but having the resources, having 120 concrete coming in, making sure that you have full containers with concrete just getting smashed so that you can just build without having to go like, oh no, I have to handcraft again. Oh no, I have to do this again. Oh no, like you don't have to do that. Take the time. Don't rush. I see so many people going like, yeah, but I gotta be fast. Why? Are you a speedrunner? If so, fine, I understand. If not, why? You're gonna spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, and most of the time, gets killed because they didn't take their time early on in the game. So take the time and do something fun with your factories. Build that little bit of extra, and take time to customize and think about your layout and try new things and all that stuff. Either way, let's jump over to concrete and copper products being done. So, copper products are now up and running, and so is the concrete. And I've essentially done, like, it looks complicated over here, it looks very chaotic, but essentially, have I done something wrong with the belts? That should be full belts. I will look at that. Give me a second here. Basically, essentially, what we're looking at is all our concrete, which now I haven't even finished this up. I am so sorry. And now I can just take a full Mark II belt, 120, straight mode, send that in, and we have all our concrete. All the concrete we will ever need. It's sending half of what it should. And I need to look at that. But first, let's look at the copper. So essentially, one belt, we have two nodes of 60 coming in to 120. One from there, one from there. So 120 goes up into 4 smelters. That's 1-to-1 ratios. So 30 copper over 30 copper ingots, we get 120. I am sending 60 of that over to become copper sheets. We will need a ton of copper sheets for pipes and computers and all the stuff later down the line. So having a big stock of copper sheets, even if they're not used for anything else right now, is really good. Same thing goes for like modular frames and cables and wire. It's good to have all of that stocked up. You use more of the cables and wires because of like putting these down, and like use cables and all of that. But yeah, so here we have 60 copper ingots getting sent in over here, as you can see, and these I might have used lower level belts here. Yeah, because it's 60. I don't need tier 2 belts here, it's just 60. And they make 15 copper ingots per machine into 30 wire. And I'm sending one machine off to get stored. I'm sending all of this off to get stored. And then you have this. These are two machines underclocked. I'm going to talk about the different underclocking later. To 75 and 75. This saves a lot of power for us. These normally use 4 megawatts per machine. This is 2.7. That's really good. So I'm basically sending 45 off to get stored. And over here, if we look at the clocking and stuff, we look at the iron plates. I have set 1 to 50% here. It also saves us energy. And over here, I think screws. To make this work, we needed 7.6 constructors working. So I have put one of them, I think this one, to 30 per minute. Makes sense. And so we needed 380. Like, we don't need 400. And then 25 are made specifically. I want underclock that to save power as well. And I'm sending that off to storage. So like, I'm using the underclocking and overclocking system to underclock and save power, but also to make sure that the machines that do need the full amount don't stop working because they're not being fed all they need. So yeah, essentially, with this all set up, let's go down and check what's wrong with the concrete. Where is it backing up? Where is it slowing down? We can see, if we look on the belts, where do they change? Mark 1. That's a Mark 2. Okay, so here's where they change. We need Mark 2s. So we're just going to upgrade these. So that now... Oh, that's clipping. I don't like the clipping. And there we go. They need to be Mark 2 belts. None of this was Mark 2. Thank you. I need more reinforced iron plates. So now, because it's running in the background, I have them. There we go. And I can grab the... Where's the Mark 2? There, Mark 2. And I want to upgrade. Upgrade. And upgrade. 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 I basically did not make that. I built all that with Mark 1s. Holy crap. I might be slightly tired. Who knows? Either way, now it is sending stuff up in at the speed it should. So let's double check here. Boom. Yep. Now you can see it's a full belt. Full belt. Full belt. We're getting it. Now we're making 120 per minute. Okay. So, with that said, we have one last job left for this first episode, which is a long-ass, all-crap episode. Let's send the space elevator. Wait. First we need to build the space elevator. I got distracted a little bit, so I have put in a little bit more of like accessibility. I've put in ladders and stuff like that, so that I can reach places. There is a ladder over there. I have collected all of the resources and stuff that we need. So, and I've prepared that. I also painted this. Let's build mentioned that I should paint the foundations green. You need foundations for your pen. They can't like fall through the ground, but I basically painted it green so they can remember the view of grass. This is hella green, like green, 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 which is really fucking funny. Over here, time to build the space elevator. Let's look. The big boy. This is the best building in the game in terms of design, hands down. Let me fly so I can show. Look at this. And now we are going to build this. I want to move it, and I'm going to move it a little bit here, and I have a good reason for it. So let's land and look at this. All of the pieces, all of the materials and everything flying out of my inventory. God damn, this is cool. Oh my god, yes. Every single time, I just hold my breath. Oh, what does Ada have to say?
Project assembly initialized. Congratulations, Pioneer. The space elevator will now automatically connect with the Project Assembly orbital platform. Project assembly is divided into phases, each of which require the delivery of project parts, such as smart plating, via the space elevator. Subsequent phases unlock access to new tiers with more advanced technologies to construct, automate, explore, and exploit. It is time to be honest. This project is part of the Save the Day program, the largest united undertaking in human history, destined to save us all. Earth is in peril and only Fix-It pioneers offer hope for survival. Fix-It is counting on you. Humanity is counting on you. Do not let Fix-It down.
No pressure or anything. Holy shit. I also think Ada's lying. That's my take on this. She sounds too much like there's too much GLaDOS vibes to it. But yes, if we look here, there are inputs. This is how we get the, if you look in the top right corner, this is how you get the smart plating in. We are already making the smart plating, remember? So I'm just going to go and take a storage container, like so, and place that over here, and have you, like so, and make a Mark II belt that goes like this, and then in. So now we want 50. I happen to know that and already have 50 in my inventory. So now I go and place them in. They're going to be sent into the machine, to the elevator. And if we go over here, we can open this anywhere. We can look at it anywhere, just like any other machine. But I'm going to go over here and click. As you can see, the smart plater, that smart plater is getting in. No, the smart plating is getting in, and we're basically waiting so we can unlock tier 3 and 4. And then we're going to do the thing. We're going to send it and see what happens. This is the first time for me. Like, not finishing the game or anything, like, but seeing this in 1.0. So let's seal.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 1 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be constructed. After completion of Phase 1, the technologies of Tiers 3 and 4 will become available in the hub. Highlights are automated power, steel production, personnel transportation, and many more. Completing Phase 2 of project assembly is your next main objective. New project parts will need to be produced and delivered to the space elevator as you have done previously. Continue to construct, automate, explore, and exploit for a better Fix-It future.
Yay! This, like, for someone who works in like marketing communications, this screams so much corporate communication to me. It's insane. Like, bright colors, bright music, everything is like, whoa, it's like LinkedIn on steroids. Either way, are we ready? Are we gonna do this? Nah, screw it, I'm going home. Nah, just kidding. Okay, let's send it. Oh, a little bit of a glitch there. Top right corner is updated with new stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Let's go. Ooh.
Phase 1 of project assembly completed.
Oh my god.
This is only the beginning of project assembly, the first step towards saving the day. You have performed adequately so far.
Thank you, that's how I normally
Not
perform.
only is Fix-It saving humanity, it is saving all of Earth, including kittens and puppies. It is statistically likely that you appreciate the continued existence of kittens and or puppies.
Yeah, I prefer them over
Continue the
people.
work for their sake. Continue the work for Fix-It. It is time to start the work on Phase 2 of Project Assembly.
Okay, but it's like, what is this? Is it like a big space gun? Is it a gateway? What is this? Holy shit. Oh, you can see some gondolas going there in the middle. That's really cool. Can I zoom in on this? Can I see it better? It's really cool. Holy shit. Alright. So we have sent the first space elevator parts in. And now we have a bunch more of the smart plating, right? So I'm just gonna run over and we will smash that in. And yeah. But we have done everything. This is phase 1. Now we're moving into phase 2, where we have the cool stuff. Specifically, fully automated power. Really cool. That's what we'll be starting with in the next episode. And, or no, actually we won't. We have different stuff to do. We have more visual, yeah. But we also get steel. Steel we want because it enables us to unlock stuff in the man. Specifically the dimensional storage depots, which is remote storage. We then have enhanced asset security, Xenobasher. That is a big weapon thingy. We have the tractor, we can drive around and go vroom, and also automate tractors, they can use autopilot. Let's see, we have blueprints. That's gonna be really good. We have Mark III belts, 270 resources, bigger storage, better. We have that. Oh yeah, we got the pipes and stuff. We need to start dealing with liquids with that. But advanced steel production, which is minor Mark II, I don't want to say no to that. Give me more. Encased industrial beams, stators, motors, automated wiring, expanded power, infrastructure, power storage, tower, and platforms, and hyper tubes, so that we can like yeet ourselves through a vacuum cleaner. That is really, really cool. So yeah, essentially, we have a lot of stuff to do. This is episode 1. We've gone through the entirety of phase 1. If you have any questions, if I missed anything, which I am I can think right now of things I have missed. And if this is something that you feel like, okay, I actually want more of a deep dive on this, how does this work? Hit me in the comments with that question, tell me of it, and I will do my best. And all praise to doggo meta. Remember to feed your dogs. You don't have to, but remember to feed your dogs, pet them, and pick up all their drops so that. And if you don't want to use them for tickets anymore, they give you too little. Just stacking them up so that you can unlock things easier and have more power slugs and all that kind of stuff. Go for it. You get so much good stuff. It's really good. And now I will sign off for today, and I will see you guys in the next video or in the next stream, which you can find my schedule in the channel trailer. And remember to subscribe, like, all that stuff. Become a channel member to support, and we will head to the stars. Or the stars will come here. I don't really know yet. But have a good one, everyone. Bye!